Okay, so this is going to be my assignment 6, where we implemented physics using Nvidia's PhysX engine. On the left here, you will see my main instance. On the right here, this is going to be my listener instance. So for the sake of everything, let me just back this up a little bit to get a good spectator view. All right, so what I did, pressing spacebar, spawn a cube. Right now the world is paused, so if I unpause it, you will see it fall, and it syncs across the network. If I spawn another one in, you'll see the collision occurs, and they bounce off like they should. Other than that, let's go into the other features. So control click using the selection. You can apply a force. The force will be applied in the direction that your camera is looking. So if I go underneath, apply an upward force, like that. I also messed around with friction. So pressing N will spawn a cube, but this cube will have a different coefficients of friction. So if we let me adjust the view here a little bit. So this one on the left is the regular, or not the regular, the frictionless, not frictionless, just more slippery cube. So if I give it a force, see it slides a lot more than if I were to give this one the same force in the same direction. Didn't move the camera, so it would be the same force. So you get a lot more slippage, so you can actually see that friction in play. That. Let's see. Also, I have gravity. So let me pause the world so you can see the you see in the console behind. By pressing period and comma, those are your controls. Period will increase the gravity, well, decrease it technically, to a negative 80.8 is the max that I have. So if I apply the same force, if I apply the force now with the gravity, see, it does not move nearly as much. Go ahead and pause it again. If I decrease the gravity, go ahead and unpause. Go underneath here, get a good upward throw here, and you can basically send the object to the moon. Or you can increase gravity. It doesn't need to be paused, I just do it for so you can see it in the console. But yeah. Let's go ahead and get gravity back to a normal 9.8. Okay, let's see, other than that, so we have the boxes with collision, frictionless box, selection to apply the force, the gravity. You can see the pause stuff. I also have a send net, stop sending net messages, because right now the messages send every, or all of the time through the updates to update the locations of the boxes and stuff like that as a result from the physics. So you can cut off net messages if you wanted to. It also helps with the working on one instance, because otherwise it's going to be constantly trying to send messages across the network. So if you only have one instance up, you can toggle that off. That is Q to toggle off the net messages. Just basically just makes it so you can work on one instance rather than having two, which I used for just development and stuff like that. So I'll resume that. Let's spawn another cube. It does start to lag more. The more cubes you get, you see only 4, and I'm definitely not getting the same amount of frames. It's just because of the amount of net messages that it's receiving now. It just starts increasing more and more. So for the sake of it, I'm going to restart. Okay. So apart from the cubes, I also have spheres. So if you press B, it takes a little bit for some reason. It's also a bug. I'm glad I just did this on a fresh restart too. there's a something with it. I'm not sure what it is. So it takes a little bit for this model to load in and stuff like that. But then it also like applies a crazy huge force. So like if I had cubes down on the ground, um, before spawning in a sphere, it like sends it just sends out a huge force, and it expels all the cubes everywhere, and it causes problems going across the network because the network just can't keep up with the with what the cubes are doing. So I'm not sure exactly, and it's only the first time that you do it the sphere. So like you won't see problems now that I spawned a sphere first. So let's unpause it, and you can see it drop. And if I go ahead and throw a cube on top of it, you'll see it does behave like a sphere. You can also apply a force to the sphere, the same as you can the cube, and you see it sinks just fine. And other than that, that's pretty much it. So yeah, so we have these boxes, full collisions on them, alongside or on top of the plane as well, which had to be made in physics to account for the collisions. Otherwise, things would just go straight through this grass. The frictionless box that you can spawn that has decreased coefficients of static friction, so you can see that impact and what it has. The selection to apply force, obviously, which is my favorite feature, is being able to just throw stuff around is fun. Other than that, you have the sphere, which is also, yeah, I can demonstrate that. So yeah, it doesn't crash. It doesn't crash going in like that. I'm not sure if it's just the way the model loads it or what, but at first time, if you have spheres down, it causes a lot of problems. And then the gravity selection stuff with the period and comma, decrease, increase the gravity. See effects of that. Then turn it on and kind of demonstrate it here. I'll turn it way up. You can see it act on the sphere. Oh, I believe I paused it. And then again, you start seeing the listener starts slowing down the more net messages it gets. And then yeah, the pause, and then the stop sending net messages, which are just simple bulls. Well, that's pretty much all I have. So yeah, thank you.